What the real fear was that the Washburn County Register was really part of the connective tissue of Shell Lake and the area. And yes, obviously, I mean, that was sort of there was some irony actually in writing this story for UpNorthNews, right? Because I'm writing it for a website, right? I'm writing it for part of that new age digital publication-ish thing, right? And so there was, the irony was not lost on me, but Shell Lake, I mean, is just really not set up for that.
While there are a lot of people focusing on the future of the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal, there was a much more pressing need to focus on local newspapers. As Doug said, if you're aware of what's going on, and unfortunately, according to a recent poll by Pew, 75% of the U.S. population is still unaware how desperate and dire the economic situation is for newspapers. It's been caused by two things. One is the internet. It's siphoned off all of the very profitable print advertising, and nothing has replaced it on the digital side because the two tech giants, Facebook and Google, kind of subsume all of the advertising in most markets, at least 75%, and leave every other news organization to fight over the digital scraps. And then the other thing that really hit small towns was the 2008 recession. So, you know, there was you lost tons of realtors and local businesses that were still patronizing the newspaper with their advertising. They did not come back from the 2008, and what we're facing with the pandemic right now is a similar sort of catastrophic failure, I think, in the news business, especially among local newspapers long term. When you lose a local newspaper, what you lose is a reporter who shows up to cover the school board meetings, to cover the city council meetings, and especially put context around issues that are important to you long term. The real issue is that we don't lack for citizen journalists, but citizen journalists often lack the training to go in and put the context around the huge issues. We've got to reimagine journalism for the 21st century. And part of that is understanding that there have been underserved communities, even in the communities we were covering before. So there is a wonderful opportunity to reimagine the journalistic mission and how we accomplish it in the 21st century using all the technological tools that we now have. One of the things that I'm really intrigued about is how we get beyond thinking about technology as taking away from journalism and how it can begin to reimagine journalism so that the journalists that are remaining can do those big stories that tell us what is bubbling just below the surface, you know. And then we need to think about how we also connect with people in a community to begin to get that kind of information that was trained in a journalism school.